Hello, this is Stephanie Shackelford with Stephanie Rambles at the Cozy Compass. I talked to you a little bit earlier about failing faster, not being afraid to fail, etc. I would like to tell you about a few things that involve failure and struggle that might give you a visual. I do much better when I have metaphors or visuals to help me remember a truth. And one I particularly like that, this particular one I have known for years, decades even, and it has been very inspirational to me, and you've probably heard it too, about the butterfly and how the butterfly, when it's coming out of its cocoon, it has to struggle to get out, that the cocoon is hard and difficult and it needs to break it away. And I've not seen it, so I don't know exactly how it works. I've only heard it talked about. Actually, I may have seen a video one time sped up of a butterfly coming out of a cocoon, but it's a slow, laborious process, but it is necessary. If you go in and help the butterfly, you aren't really helping the butterfly. The butterfly will die. I mean, I imagine just flop around and die, because that struggle pushes the fluid out of its wings and into its body, and also strengthens those muscles that are needed for it to fly. And if you don't allow it to go through that struggle, if somehow you take away that struggle, you take away its ability to live its best life. And that metaphor, that visual, whatever you want to call it, helps me to remember that trying to get out of the struggles that I have to go through, while it is definitely something I intuitively do, we all do it, we don't want to have to go through struggle or pain, I also know that on the other side of struggle is something better. So when I'm struggling, I tend to use this a lot when I'm learning something new, because that attempt to learn something new is a struggle, and it's not fun to be learning something and be clueless and not really understand and feel like you're walking through a fog and you don't quite understand it. But struggling to learn it keeps the brain active, keeps my interest up. I have no idea how it would affect you, but it keeps my interest up because I like to learn. I enjoy learning new things, even when it is a struggle. So the butterfly is one visual, and there are a couple of other visuals that have more to do, well, this one has to do with struggle also. Two of them are definitely about struggle, and the third one is going to be about struggle and failure, I think. Anyway, the second one is the buffalo. And you may have heard this one too. I did not hear it until about 2 or 3 years ago, maybe a little bit longer. But I heard that unlike most animals that run from a storm, particularly if you're going to compare cows and buffaloes or horses and buffaloes, they run from the storm. Actually, I don't know whether horses do or not. I've just heard. I don't really know if cows do either. I've just heard. Haven't experienced it. So all this is hearsay. But I've heard that cows and horses and other animals run from storms, or burrowing animals burrow and get into safety, which is another lesson, not the one about struggling, of celebrating and encouraging struggle, or welcoming struggle, maybe not encouraging, but at least welcoming it when it comes. But the buffalo, instead of running away from the storm, heads into the storm. And that's, when you think about it, I mean, the buffalo is doing something instinctive. There's something instinctive in them that has them go into the storm. Who knows what it is? People have anthropomorphized, is that the right way to say that word? I'm trying to visualize how it's spelled. Anyway, turned the animal instinct into human thought and reasoning, and that's really not the case. It may just be that they are hardwired to enjoy the chaos of the storm. Who knows? But people have said that if you run into the storm, you're going to get through the storm a lot faster than if you're running away from it. Plus, you see what's coming at you. That's my take. You see what's coming at you instead of running away from it and having to look back over your shoulder. Oh no, it's gaining on me. Oh no, what is it? So rather than running away from the storm, buffalo run into the storm and embrace that struggle. The third metaphor visual that I want to share with you is the golf ball. Did y'all know, again, all hearsay, I've only heard these things, so if I'm wrong, you're welcome to tell me. But I have heard that the golf ball started out smooth, but it wasn't very accurate. People started using their used golf balls because they could more accurately predict where they were going to go when they hit them with the golf club. Again, like I said, this is what I've heard. I don't golf, so I have no idea. So I don't know if it was one particular company or if what, but somebody started creating golf balls that already had the little dimples in them. And that is why golf balls have dimples in them. The successful golf ball that we have now is the result of multiple failures. Remember I told you in the last video that failure gets you to success quicker? No one would have known if they hadn't continued to use the defective balls, the quote-unquote defective balls, the ones that had little dimples in them from the first hit and the second hit, and they wouldn't have realized that they were getting better if they hadn't kept using those, if they hadn't kept trying to fail. And there are lots of other visuals, and you're welcome to put them in the comments. I would love to get a conversation started about visuals that show the positive aspect of struggle and or failure. And when I say failure, I don't mean ultimate failure where you just quit. I'm done. And there may come a time when you're like, this is too much. I have more important things to do. I'm not going to continue with this thing. That's not necessarily a failure. That's, you didn't learn or accomplish whatever it was you were trying to learn or accomplish, but you have decided that the payoff isn't, that there are more important things. So I'm not talking about that. That's a different creature altogether. But share, like I said, share those times when I talk about failure, I am talking about that thing that seems to be a failure, but is really a stepping stone to the next step. And I mean, most failures are all, if not all, are a stepping stone. Sometimes, like I said, that stepping stone can be an awareness that I don't really want that as much as I thought I did. I want this other thing that's going to take a different kind of effort and a different kind of failure. But don't be afraid of failure. Don't be afraid of struggle, and share your visuals if you have any that you would like to share. See you next time. Remember to look for magic wherever it can be found. Well, remember to look for magic wherever you are, because it is everywhere it can be found. It is everywhere you look. Okay, I'm going to stop now.